Welcome to Reread. I am finally on the last two issues of the Marvel comic book series. That's right, 107 and 108. And I've always wanted to do this. I look forward to this. In fact, a long time ago when I reviewed issue 108, issue 108, I thought, you know what? I would love to do a compare and contrast between 107 and 108 and why 108 is a better ending than 107. And now that I've read them both back to back again, I can definitely tell you why. First off, let's go to issue 107. Luke has long blonde hair all of a sudden, and he's beefed up like Rambo, and he's carrying a big Gatling laser gun. Obviously, Mary Jo Duffy had just watched Rambo and said, I can make Luke Rambo. Or maybe the artist did. I don't know. But the Nagai suddenly have switched sides. They've joined the Alliance to take on the Toph, so now they're the good guys. And again, it's rushed because Mary Jo Duffy was told this is the last issue. So she had to kind of wrap things up. They're trying to take out the Tophs. Still, I think they're still on the planet Zeltron, even though it's a war zone now. At the very end of it, because they do defeat the Tophs, Bay turns out to be a secret agent. We haven't seen Bay since issue 101, I think. He just kind of fell off the planet. No one knows where he is. But supposedly he's been under disguise. He's infiltrated the Tophs, and he's in green makeup, of course, and he reveals himself at the end as he, shoots Lumia. Lumia's in it again. She's in a dress, kind of disguised as a dress, inside of a dress, and she's fighting Leia, and she's about to kill Leia, but then gets shot. But they never say she's dead, but Bay shoots her. And that's the end. The Tophs, they had the help of Lumia, because Lumia still has to be the bad guy. And now that the Nagai had to be turned good, which I'm sure was Mary Jo Duffy's plan all along at the end, she had to just do this all quickly in one issue. In fact, there is the only thing that, they're still talking about the plot. Bay's still talking about how he infiltrated the Tophs on the last page. Like she was writing to the very last page. On the last panel, the last word bubble, there's some word bubbles in there still concluding the story. Luke kind of gives a thing about, well, now that we're all together, we're at peace with the Nagai, and hopefully peace will rule the galaxy from now on. The end. And it's such an abrupt ending. Again, it wasn't her fault, but it wasn't the best ending. 108, on the other hand, it sings, man. It still sings. It's such a good issue. I hated that EU fans looked at this issue and went, that's not EU. Oh man, I just shake my head. Face palm moment there for EU fans who do not appreciate 108. Shame on you, because they delivered a lot of EU connections in here. Again, there's the Han Solo talking about, well, we're not the Alliance of Free Planets. That name didn't stick around long. We're the New Republic. So they start making ties to the books to tie it all together, which is great. But on top of that, Jackson is back. Amazon is back. The Hiromi make an appearance in it. Even though they're silly, they give them, basically a few cameo in it. The 4 Zeltron men are in it. Pliff is seen in a few panels too, and he talks a little bit. Domina Tag, which has kind of been forgotten in the comic book series. I even forgot that she was still one of the villains, because she hadn't been recurring in the past, 30 issues or so. She comes back. She's trying to find the 2 jewels that usually cure you of the Crimson Forever. So they're trying to keep her. I think she already has 1 jewel. She's looking for the other, and they're trying to get them both. Unfortunately, the Crimson Forever, they're all exposed. Very quickly, all this happens. Valance is back in it. He comes back from the dead, even though we're not really told how he survived a lava pit. But he is all cyborg. All his syntheflesh has been torn off. So his body survived the lava, even though it shut down, I guess, to do a long reboot. Couple of years reboot. Remember, this is back in New Hope and Empire when you last saw him. And so now he's back. He didn't know that the Emperor's dead. The Empire's gone. Luke handled his own, so he's happy about that. But he wants these jewels too because they heal people. And he thinks they can heal because he still has some human parts inside of him, and maybe it'll heal those human parts and make him more human, which is what Valance wants altogether. Well, it gets to the very end game, where they're all exposed to Crimson Forever, but they defeat Domina Tag. It's time to combine both crystals, and for some reason, whoever does this will die. I don't understand that. But Valance, who has one of the crystals, is healing. he's already starting to feel the pieces of his real biological flesh grow back on him, but it's not enough. And so what he decides to do is, again, I don't understand why he sacrifices himself, but he dives out into space, it looks like, puts the jewels together, cures everyone of Crimson Forever. This is kind of wild and zany, like an old Marvel comic was. But then Valance gets to become whole. At the very end, as he's dead, he dies as a human. So he dies fully healed. And you're thinking, oh, Matt, that's kind of cheesy. Come on, gems that can heal? Yeah, but that was already established in the Marvel comic books. It is so true to Marvel. It feels like a love letter to the Marvel comic book series, which I think is great. I still love it. It makes connections to the old expanded universe. You know, like I said, the New Republic for one. It does take a little bit more serious turn. For some reason, Bay is not in this. They didn't decide to include him in, or Cairo. I don't think Danny, Chido, or Rick Duel are in it either. I mean, this is a big comic book, and they make a lot of guest star appearances in it, so they couldn't get everyone in. I understand that, so I can't really complain about that. But again, wouldn't it have been nice if Danny knew? I'm not going to let that go. I'm not going to let that go. It would be nice if she knew that Cairo was still alive. I'm sure the writers didn't think about that when they were planning out this book, but that is one big thing that's missing. Not that we need some, well, yeah, actually we do need a short story about Danny and Cairo getting back together. Because Danny she's depressed at the end of the series in issue 107. She's still depressed, and no one, when Luke goes, I hope there'll be peace now that we're all friends. Oh, and by the way, now that we're not at war with the Nagai, Cairo's been alive this whole time, killing the Nagai. And he looks at the Nagai, hugging them with knives. I don't know. Anyway, overall, 108 is a gem. And anyone who says otherwise is a moron. See you next time.